It's Jay Coffee on the vid, back at it, and we got some breaking news. A news reporter brutally bodied in Austin, right outside of his home, and he happens to be a news reporter that worked for one of the most controversial platforms there ever was, INFO Wars. A. Jones, who I'm surprised this guy is still around after everything that happened with the lawsuit and everything being kind of deleted out of the blogosphere in a sense. He always kind of finds his way back in, kind of crossing over into the mainstream where people know who he is. Comment your thoughts on A. Jones. If you think he's just a crazy son of a gun, if you think he used to be onto something and now he's been compromised, or what you think. You know what I mean? A lot of people hate this dude after the SANDYH00K situation. And we saw what happened in court where he, under oath, testified and admitted that he was wrong. But Jamie White, a news correspondent that worked for the platform and with A. Jones, killed. And A. Jones, you know, has a whole theory or chain of events that he's laying out that played into this, and he's saying none other than Soros is behind this, and this district attorney Jose Garza. So check it out. The call came in late Sunday night right outside of his apartment. And the report came in that there was a man with obvious signs of trauma. They rushed him to a nearby hospital, and he was alive. He wasn't DOA, but he later succumbed to his injuries and passed on. And the police are calling this a homicide, but they haven't, ID'd any suspects or anything like that to the media. But, Jones was going in, speaking on the situation. Listen to what this man was saying. He says, I lay all of this squarely at the feet of Soros and of the sort of crime syndicate of the Democratic Party. They are the ones that administratively cut the police, prosecuted the police in even cases that are 100% clear to be lawful, legal activities. You murdered Jamie White. You opened the door. You created the climate. You created conditions on purpose. George Soros, Alexander Soros, you murdered Jamie White. These are sick, degenerate, evil people that know what they're doing, and they aided and abetted. They are accomplices to the murder of a great American and InfoWars longtime veteran reporter, Jamie White. And yeah, man, this is pretty wild. Like, sounding like he got poked up pretty bad. You see the pictures of them together. I think he's worked for the platform for some time. And the picture outside of his crib, the 2300 block of Douglas Street, right around midnight, the 8th murder of this year in Austin. And Garza, this district attorney that we're talking about, is known for his progressive policies, and his campaign was backed by billionaire financier George Soros, Open Society Foundations. And Jones is saying, Jamie's death was the inevitable result of what he calls, quote unquote, vicious policies by Soros-backed DAs like Garza, whom he accused of intentionally undermining law enforcement and letting violent criminals roam free. So do you guys think that there's any truth to this? Do you think this is just some crackpot conspiracy theory by Jones, or do you buy into this stuff? But man, definitely someone was gunning for him, I think. Like Alex Jones is saying, no question that this was a targeted attack. Again, the police haven't named any suspects or anything like that. It'll be intriguing, and I mean that respectfully. Like, a man has lost his life, so I'm not trying to be like, oh, this is so. But seriously, I want to see what the police say about this, if they do try to spin some kind of narrative or something like that. Like, oh, it was a robbery, or I don't know. You know what I mean? But A. Jones, I don't buy into a lot of the ish this guy says, but George Soros is a name that comes up so often, like the real life Lex Luthor or a Bond villain. The conservative Cuban, someone that I knew in these blogosphere streets, used to say that, man. He always said the man is a real life Bond villain. Simple as that. But it's so crazy how everything gets political and, tied into different things going on in that realm and conspiracy theories right away. But it definitely is a bugged out situation for sure, for this guy to just be brutally killed in such a manner. He also said, quote, "When you see Soros seizing control of over 800 jurisdictions, protecting serious narcotics gangs and human trafficking gangs, and when you see different feds and ICE calling and warning some of those violent gangs in the world that there's ICE raids coming." And he went on for 15 minutes about all this. There are so many communist traitors in the government that they having to polygraph now to find out who's doing it. This is a crisis. And again, defunding the police, all of this is meant to destabilize the collapsed society. Now, what do you guys think of this? Like, Garza, this district attorney, right? I guess he got donations from Soros, and as you hear Jones saying that he's just trying to buy out all these different jurisdictions and allow violent crime to raise, and you heard him, collapse society. That's his theory on all this. Do you believe that to be true or what? And he also claimed, oh, I already said that, my bad, y'all. But look at Soros. He is a creepy looking son of a bitch, man. For the last several years, billionaire philanthropist George Soros has been quietly financing a revolution in criminal justice reform, doling out tens of millions of dollars to progressive candidates in district attorney races throughout the country. And he's always here early, loves to work. This is about white. Loves to fight tyranny, promote freedom. And when they got to the apartment complex, there was yellow tape everywhere and BLOOD all over the parking lot. And we went and talked to the manager. They didn't know anything. And this was a great American, a man of conviction, and they killed him. But we will never stop fighting for justice, for Jamie, for everyone who's been a victim of this engineered crime wave. So you see him just lay all the cards out on the table with his theory. But like I said, he lost a lot of credibility to a lot of individuals with the whole Hook situation, seeing him in that courtroom under oath, owning up to spreading misinformation and propaganda about that situation, man. That was indeed flucked up. But I don't know, maybe people are still buying into something that he says, and this whole district attorneys across America being compromised and bought out by, once again, the real life IRL James Bond villain George Soros, who definitely has evil running through his veins. Is that what it is? Do you believe that to be true? Do you think that this is a plan that's been put into place, and that his life was snuffed out because him and A. Jones are fighting the good fight, trying to expose it all? Or do you think that's cap, or are you not sure? Once again, we'll have to wait and see what the authorities say when they speak out on this situation. But it has been ruled a homicide. No suspects, no other really info put out at this time. So stay tuned for them updates. Let's discuss it all in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. And it's Jay Coffee Talk signing out, guys. Peace.